curly hair and wide eyes. Pierre was an introvert, but he was a male. More about romance later. I said this story is about struggles, and it is. Struggles against the status quo. The way things are, I'm sure you've heard people say, that's just the way it is. Well, in the late 1800s, women had to be very determined to succeed. That's just the way it was. There were barriers that presented themselves to women that did not present themselves to men. And I'll give you 4 examples. First, the Russians did not allow Polish girls to attend Polish universities, so I had to go to Paris to pursue my degree. Second, even after I had been recognized for numerous achievements throughout the world, I was not invited to become a member of the prestigious French Academy of Sciences because I was female. Third, there were no female professors at the Sorbonne until I broke through that long tradition. And that was long after I'd been awarded the Nobel Prize. And finally, even the Nobel Committee, at first, wanted to give the prize only to Pierre and Henri for our joint accomplishments in radioactivity, until Pierre told them, if you don't also name my wife, don't bother naming me. Good for you, Pierre. Even at that, at the official ceremony, I was not allowed to go up on stage with Pierre and Henri to receive the prize. Since I was a little girl, I had struggles. I lost one of my sisters when I was 8. And then my mother, 2 years later, she succumbed to tuberculosis, and because of the contagious nature of this disease, she wasn't allowed to hug and kiss me. I could only cling around her skirts. And then I was born with a rebellious independence streak. Every Polish child I ever encountered, I wanted to teach that child the Polish language right under the Russians' noses. Even though it was against the law, I risked it. Only Russian could be spoken then, not Polish. Even though we certainly did speak our native language, going to great lengths not to get caught. We learned to be pretty devious in those days. I'll never forget one day when I was 9 or 10 years old, and we were speaking Polish and studying Polish history in my private girls' school in Warsaw, when a bell rang, 2 longs and 2 shorts, signaling to our teacher that a Russian inspector was coming to be sure we were not speaking Polish or studying Polish history. Some of the girls rushed to grab our books and take them away. By the time the Russian inspector got to the door of our classroom, we had our sewing out. We were listening intently to our teacher read to us from a Russian fairy tale. Not satisfied, he looked in all our desks for banned books, and then he asked our teacher, whom we affectionately called Dixie, to bring one of us to the front of the class to be grilled by him. Because I had a pretty good memory, Dixie called on me. I walked to the front of the class to stand before him, and he demanded that I name all the czars who had ever ruled. Russia. And he asked me to recite the Lord's Prayer in Russian, which was pretty humiliating for a Roman Catholic girl like me. And he wanted me to give the names and titles of all the members of the current imperial family, which I did in perfect Russian. And then he asked, who rules over all Russia? And when I hesitated, he asked again, who rules over all of Russia? And I answered, His Majesty, Alexander II, Tsar of all Russia. And when he left, I just broke down.